happened. So what we could do is execute could return that information, and we don't do anything with it other than log. But that won't work for status effects because they just add. We can return whether or not it applied.
Yeah.
There's no easy way to do this.
No. There's no easy way to do any of this. We got into the hard part.
Yeah. We're starting... We got the system set up, now we're fucking stress testing it to the max. We built a little React app, and now we're like, what happens if we just got the traffic of Amazon?
Yep. Man, remember when we thought we were almost done?
There's a reason why every time you say we're almost done, I go, eh.
Like, in terms of the to-do list, we are, but...
I mean... There's still a lot.
Yeah, but a lot of those are really easy.
Yeah.
Local avoidance is going to be hard.
Add damage text is fun. You know what? What if we choose damage text for debugging?
We could.
The only other thing we can do is build like our own little dev cheats console that like displays all the calculations that happened.
Which sounds like a pain in the ass.
But we're gonna want it eventually.
We are.
Like one of the things I've been thinking about is like somewhere in this UI, I want it to be like base damage 1, calculated damage 40, and that comes from percent base damage 10 upgrades 2 or 3 or whatever, and like it kind of like, and then it goes like on hit damage 5 to 400 whatever, right? And then it tells you which effects it comes. Like it should like, if we don't have something like this, like then we'll never get to the point where people have like a wiki helping us, like helping people like min-max, you know, if we never expose all this information.
Yeah, because what we can do is we can make that a meta effect where you basically get the dev cheat console that shows you all of that information.
Oh, fucking...
Oh, yeah. That one doesn't really matter.
This is going to be a problem because the game manager might destroy itself first, so it's going to recreate the game manager because it's a singleton. I really hate log spam. It makes it hard to tell what's actually real.
Yeah.
You still real? No. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a little bit more tooling here before we can even begin to like make sure these are all working correctly. Because whenever I do it, it takes me like 30 minutes to debug each one, you know?
Yeah, no, we definitely need something more robust. And then, like you said, it would be really easy at that point to just open that up to the players as a meta effect, where just like one of the meta effects can be unlock. I mean, because like there's an item in Binding of Isaac that's like that, where it displays health bars and the damage dealt, like the calculated damage and its sources.
So I just need to make a new UI called stats.
Yeah, I guess so.
And use that, and then have it just like be a pane that's open in the window showing you what's happening, so you can like stop and like watch what happens.
Yeah, I guess so.
The other thing we need to do is like on upgrades, you need to be able to like, I don't want to have to keep doing JSON for this. I want to be able to go like ranged on hit tier 1, right click on this ability to disable it.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to like test what happens if I have burn and chain lightning if they apply on each other or whatever, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And that's definitely something that we want. We decided we want players to be able to unequip things, right?
I think so, yeah.
You're not stuck with a build if you end up getting something that just doesn't work well with it.
Yeah, I think you do that in crafting, right? On hit, tier 1, you click on this guy, and you can either hit craft, and then once craft is done, then this disappears, and you can hit equip or unequip.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Because
So
I think about, like, there are backfires that I want to be able to kill the player and ones that shouldn't. Like Chain Lightning, I feel like should be able to kill the player or the source. But if you get the effect that's like, one of the player effects is like you get a permanent massive global damage buff, but you're reduced to 1 HP and you can't heal until you've killed 10 enemies. If you got that and you also had Chain Lightning, you don't want to keep Chain Lightning. Because you have to be so careful at that point not to just immediately end your run.
So now we have to have an is equipped flag. When we craft, we want to say it is crafted to true, and right now when we craft an effect, we give it the amount that we own, and then we call on craft, which adds it. So instead we need on equip and on unequip.
Yes.
On craft shouldn't actually do any. Yes, it should. It's like stat modifier effect, for example. On craft, it gets the stat to effect, and then adder updates it, which figures out which list it needs to be in.
And I guess you don't really. You would never need to unequip those, right?
I mean, for debug purposes, I'd want to.
Yeah, for
or
debug
what
purposes,
happens if I bought a bunch of things that lower my ammo and I get down to 0 ammo?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's fair. So then all of that should happen in on equip and on craft. It should just call on equip automatically. So it defaults to equipped, but then you can unequip it.
So effect, all effects should have toggle equip, so I don't even equip and unequip.
Yeah.
And I like this because then it lets me know if I forgot to do it anywhere.
Yep. No, I think that's good.
And Bool is equipped. So now the upgrade. We have buy upgrade, and say if it's crafted, then we craft. That doesn't make any sense. Craft right now gives the upgrade info. Craft doesn't really need to exist, actually. Craft is just to eat your resources.
Craft eats your resources and tells you if you can toggle it. Right? Because you can't toggle before you craft.
So, effect.toggle equip. Game manager player entity is equipped. And then when we do toggle it on and off, if they've purchased new upgrades, we want to let it know as well that that amount owned has been updated. Right?
Yeah.
And we also need to do this in case it doesn't have a negative or positive effect. No, this is a bad place to put it. We actually shouldn't be doing it here at all. We should be doing it when we craft, we shouldn't even tell it to craft if we don't have it. No, that looks more dumb. Never mind. So now when we craft, we tell it to craft with this upgrade. Did I put a clip up here yet? No. Why are all these fucking virtual? We've never overridden upgrades. What the fuck? And then when we set defaults, we make sure is equipped is false. And then when we do set defaults here, we just revert the effect. Okay. When we init, do we do anything special? We make sure we have all the overrides. Okay. So now in the upgrade inspector, when an upgrade is selected for craft, the upgrade button has the craft function that's called, and it says craft and the description, and then we get the resources text. So we need like sorry, it's gonna take a sec.
It's all good.
We need to check if the upgrade is crafted. Otherwise, we add this. So then the icon grabs the icon for the upgrade if it's not there, otherwise it toggles itself off. The upgrade name doesn't change. The upgrade button text is craft button text. Starts out as craft. If the current update grade isn't crafted, it's always craft. If the current upgrade is craft, that's we can just do else. Otherwise, the current upgrade is crafted, and then if it's equipped, unequip. Otherwise, we try to equip. Okay, so that's all the upgrade button text. Then the descriptions are there either way. Then the resources text. The resources text only shows if we're not crafted. And the upgrade button fucking hell, dude.
Yep.
Upgrade button is just a button. And right now... do we have access to... No, we don't have access to that icon. I'm running out of steam, homie. This is pain.
Yep.
Okay,
And-
I know what I have to do for here. Do we want to look at your animation controller stuff?
Sure. I mean, no, but sure.
Move all this code into an upgrade button script.
GitHub.
Start working on upgrade equip / unequip. Actually, one more thing. So we can now equip and unequip them, so we can get it down so we only have one effect at a time, right?
Yeah.
We still need an easy way to let the player know what happened. Right?
Yes.
So I guess last thing I should do probably is probably want some UI kerfuckery to make it easier for ourselves. So one of the things we should do is the upgrade, like, ranged physical tier 1. Like when you, like, there should be some UI to let you know, like, in the upgrade window, it's equip status and it's craft status.
Yes.
Right? Like change the color of the button or something, or add some UI here, and then same in the craft menu.
I think that would be smart for sure.
The difference between upgrade, unlock, and equip and craft is weird. I don't think the new player experience is going to be great there.
No. And I don't want super invasive tutorials either.
I don't see around it other than I don't see a way around it other than yoinking out the physical resources aspect of it. You know?
Yeah.
I think our game is too complicated.
It's getting there. We need to simplify some aspect of this process.
We do. I don't know what it is. 'Cause right now the two UIs being the exact same thing.
Right, and when they have
Is
visual
bad.
differences, when we have art, it'll be a little better.
Yeah. Maybe that'll kind of tutorialize it itself, the UI being better.
Okay, what about this? No. Because we want to be able to upgrade things that we don't currently have equipped. So that we can upgrade them and then equip them.
But the only reason you'd want to do that is if you're like able to like look at the stats and watch them change.
Yeah. Okay, what if... So one solution would be to put upgrade in the crafting chamber instead, but then you're not separating the resources used, which feels bad. Because it does kind of feel like equipping and unequipping should be able to be handled,
Wherever.
yeah, or at least in the same place as upgrading.
Should we do it in both craft and upgrade?
That might be best.
Yeah, just have like a little like checkbox for whether or not it's active.
Yeah. I don't think that... yeah, no, that's good, because we don't want to frustrate our players. And imagine if, if you do equip something not realizing it's going to hurt your build, and then you go into the next area, you go through one room, and you're like, wow, I hate this combo. Do you really want to have to go through the entire level and beat the boss before you can change it? No.
No.
Only being able to craft things at the end of the level is a good balancing thing, because it means that you have to beat levels to get stronger. But
you don't, because you can just buy upgrades.
Yeah, but it means you have to
ones.
You have to beat levels to apply to create new effects, to
Yes.
increase your synergies and everything. That makes sense to me. It feels like a necessary balancing, but saying you can only do it,
I don't think it does feel good. I feel like it just feels like an arbitrary line that we're drawing in the sand.
I'm trying to avoid the meta being to be running back to the start room constantly.
And that's what I'm saying. What if we just have just like I have now, you have the upgrade button up here. And it handles upgrading, crafting, unlocking, all that jazz in one go. And you can do it whenever. Then I don't need two separate UIs that are handling a bunch of shit, and it gets real confusing. It's all one thing.
I don't know how I feel about it. Having a physical place where you do it adds an element of danger that I think is good for some things, but not everything.
I agree. I just don't think it's a fun gameplay that, oh, I have enough money. Fuck, I have to run all the way back to the beginning again.
Yeah.
For balance and preventing players shooting themselves in the foot, sure. But if we're thinking purely fun, I think it'll get in the way.
Okay, but banking being at a physical location...
Sure.
We need some things to be at a physical location, because otherwise there's no danger to holding onto your DNA. If you're about to die, you just panic bank it anywhere. It removes the risk.
I don't want to really do away with the banking system.
Yeah, I feel like that system's really good.
This may be one where we need to sleep on it.
I think we need to separate some things, but then have a central UI that handles... But then you still have to...
We have a core flaw in our game design here. We're trying... as much as I hate to say it, we're trying to solve too many problems.
No, I've got it.
Okay.
The table at the beginning is only for banking. And it as a research station works like research stations in most games, where you put your DNA into it and then it works on its own and you can access it from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a banking station. You do unlocks and upgrades from anywhere, but you still have to equip at the end. We separate those two systems, but that's it. You still have to craft at the end, rather.
So I start my run, I don't have anything to do, so I can't really interact with the thing at the beginning. I go kill a bunch of shit, I kill the boss, and then that window pops up, and I could bank my stuff, upgrade, unlock, and craft all at the end of the boss room. Because it's dumb to make you run back to the beginning just to bank your shit, yeah?
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah, you can only do stuff at the end. You know what? I like that better anyway. That way it forces you to do at least one level raw. And then you can choose to bank everything, or you can choose to do another one.
Yeah.
Do we feel good about that? Do we feel good about only allowing banking after you beat the boss?
trying to think. I struggle to think of all the possibilities of how this goes, so I'm trying to like run through like the player like doing each individual action. Okay. So we start a brand new run. We have no currency, nothing.
Yep.
We run through, we kill the boss, we hit the upgrade chamber, we got enough resources to craft one effect, upgrade it a bunch, and then we go to the next room. We get halfway through the room and then realize the next room is going to be really hard. So I'd like to upgrade my chain lightning so this next room with a bunch of mobs is easier. Can I do that from the UI?
I guess you can't because it's not banked, is it?
Yeah. You see, like there's just like a core problem here. And anytime we try and split it up where you can do one thing one place and one thing in another, that's going to make the player experience hard on first play.
So if all we can do anywhere is equip and unequip, that seems fine. If we're saying we have these things unlocked and crafted, we can equip them anywhere. Okay, what about this?
So equip, unequip has to be anywhere. That has to be.
Yeah. We can't tie that to a location.
Unlock as a concept seems dumb. We already have craft as your gate to get the thing. But the whole reason this exists is so that we can we have curved randomization. Right?
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call it. Aided randomization. I'll call it minimal randomization.
Right.
The timing of when you can do this, I don't care. It can happen anywhere. It doesn't actually impact anything until you craft, right?
Right.
Upgrade. Again, I don't really care where it happens. If you've already bought it and paid for it and you acquired 100... Oh, but you can't bank.
That's the problem.
Anywhere,
the only reason that has to be...
as long as you have banked DNA. Banking.
Yeah.
Beginning or end of floor. One of the two, I don't care which.
I think we keep it at end. I think that feels better because part of this is keeping a balance between roguelite and...
Roguelike?
Yeah. We've gone very heavy on roguelite. Making you clear at least one floor before you can buy anything is a very roguelike thing to do. And especially because we're doing boss rewards, bosses will unlock a completely random upgrade. Or a completely random effect. You get to know what your free effect is from the first floor before you purchase anything else. That seems like good game design to me.
What? She needs help watering. I keep talking.
Okay, so here's a thought.
I still think there's too many things. But I don't want to take any of them away because I feel like it detracts from the experience.
Yeah, no, they're all good. There's ways to balance this. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we know the problem that we're trying to solve.
We're trying to solve too many problems. We're trying to have minimal randomization.
We've solved most of these, right? So, equip and unequip is anywhere. unlock could be anywhere, but I think tying it to the same place where you craft just makes sense. Because that feels like the balance between complication and right. So banking, crafting, and unlocking all happen in the same place. That feels streamlined to me, right? So upgrading anywhere, as long as you have banked DNA. So the only problem we have is that if you rush to the boss room, which would be the optimal strategy, because then you can face the boss with max health, or the most health possible, and then decide if you want to clear the rest of the level based on how much health you have left. Which is what you do in Binding of Isaac. So the problem is, if you want to go, and this is an issue Binding of Isaac has too, you find hearts, you have at max HP, you go, you lose hearts, you have to walk all the way back. It's annoying and arduous. It's fine, games can be successful while having it, but that's the only problem we're trying to solve, is having to run back to bank your DNA. So, when should you have to run back? You should have to run back when there's active danger, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense, because part of the risk reward is there are enemies on you. You need to run back through the enemies to bank your DNA if you want to do that. So the optimal solution is we know when there are active enemies. If there are no active enemies, either give the player an ability to just teleport back to the boss room, or max their movement speed so that walking back is easier. Have just a quality of life thing that happens when you're not in any active danger and you've already cleared the boss.
Why don't we just do... So it's just this? That's what you think?
No, I think we should be able to... So
do you want your player to be able to run back and bank whenever?
We want them to be able to run back and bank... No. I think them only being able to bank at the end of the level is good. The problem is, you beat the boss, you go to clear more rooms, you want to bank, you have to run all the way back to the boss room, which I think you should have to if there are enemies still alive. But if there aren't, you should be able to get back a lot easier.
I can see that being annoying if there's like one enemy that you just can't find. Which is a common problem.
Then if any enemies concurrently...
Like if you're in combat.
Because the problem there is, what if you run through 3 rooms, you clear the 4th room, you would have to run through 3 rooms worth of enemies, which is active danger, but they're not currently aggroed onto you. The idea that you could just run to safety and then teleport back while avoiding other dangerous rooms also feels kind of bad. I mean, this is why so many roguelikes just have incessant backtracking. It's unforgivable in Binding of Isaac because you can't leave a room until it's cleared. So you should at least have max movement speed. There's really no reason why you're forced to run back through or walk back through slowly. In our case, because the levels are kind of open and dynamic in their own way, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Just play test. Switch the boss to be its normal spawn location. Get to the boss room as quickly as you can. Clear 2 other rooms and then walk back to the boss, and tell me how annoying that would actually be. Maybe we're overthinking it.
So you're saying just go beat the level?
Yeah, beat the level, but try to get to the boss as quickly as possible. Now, obviously, the enemies they don't aggro onto you easily enough.
How did I get hit there? Oh, I hurt myself with chain lightning.
Yep, chained onto yourself.
I want to change that. I want to change it so you only get stunned if enemies hit you.
Yeah.
Where did we do stun effects? Player.
It's in Visual Controller.
Damage animation. Yeah, this is where I wanted to see what happens. Start damage effects only happens on take hit. Eh?
What if another enemy applies a burn to you, though?
Well, then the hitter would be the enemy.
Huh?
The hitter would be the enemy.
Yeah, but if you have 15 different damage over time effects being applied to you by enemies, you'll still get stun locked. I think status effects just probably shouldn't stun the player.
We have no way of determining what type of effect is hitting us here.
That's fair. I mean, this is fine for now because the only status effect in the demo is slow. So we don't have to look at that right now, but it's gonna need a rework at some point.
And this doesn't even, like, this just negates damage effects altogether. That's just incorrect.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's like we need, like, to store off the current things that we're about to do, and then say, hey, let's, like, consume that, and then, like, handle that.
Yeah.
In each of the systems. What if enemy entity, enemy weapon controller, when it shoots, it spawns a projectile. It's projectile controller. No, I was gonna do it on the projectile, but again, we're gonna have effects. Yeah. We're gonna need some way to basically say, like, hey, I don't want to just take damage. I want to take damage, and here's where from. You like damage source or damage type. Because start damage VFX handles damage or stunning like way in here.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out. Can we just do away with stun and only have stun be a status effect that enemies have?
No,
and only some enemies have? I guess. Why do you want you to always be stunned whenever you take damage? What was your thought there?
Effectively, when the stun animation plays, you not moving makes sense. And it's how the enemies work as well. And animation interrupting is a mechanic in the game, and so it feels like it should be utilized for normal damage. What if we just have what if we just have a stun cooldown specifically for player? Or maybe for all of them, because stun locking enemies can be really powerful with just high rate of fire and low damage.
Does having stun in the game make it more fun?
I think so. The fact you can interrupt animations.
That's fair. Like an enemy's about to attack you and you stop him.
Yeah, and if they've started their attack animation, their attack cooldown resets there, so you can fully cancel their attack and make them wait before they can attack again.
Does the player getting stunned make the game more fun?
I think it maybe needs more balancing for player. Maybe player gets iframes would be the easiest way to handle it. I think we give the player iframes.
I'm just thinking, like, in general, as the game scales up, there's gonna be more enemies, all sorts of stuff going on screen. It's gonna be so hard to determine when you get stunned, and it might feel cheap. Just that it happens at all.
I disagree. I think it makes the game more fun because you can still attack. That's fair. That's fair. That's the big caveat. It means that you get punished for being hit beyond just losing HP, and so you have actual incentive. Like, as you get things that can recover HP, getting hit once isn't very punishing, but getting hit once, you get stunned and you can no longer escape danger for a second. That actually incentivizes you to avoid taking damage, even when you have healing. But because animation canceling is a thing, you still have a secondary way to avoid damage, which is why melee needs to have a low rate of fire, because you can stun lock an individual enemy while you have ammo with your ranged attack. Or you can stun lock a group of enemies, but you can only cancel one attack before your cooldown prevents you from blocking the next one. So if you end up in a situation where you're getting swarmed, you can switch to melee, hit once, cancel all of their attacks, and escape.
Should I put in that to do there? I think my brain is full for the day. I'm gonna contemplate on these.
Okay.
Yeah, we've touched like 6 different systems today, and I'm just not no brain power left.
Here. Let me, because I'm on a different build. Let me share my screen real quick, or you can watch the stream either way. I don't know how far behind it is. It seems to be lagging pretty bad.
It's far behind.
Yeah. I restarted it earlier, and it's still, So yeah, I'll share mine here.
We should probably sync our branches soon.
Yeah. But I don't have any of the effects stuff, so we can just... This is first playthrough, right? You don't have any effects. Should change my streaming window to this. So let's see. It's just on Game Manager. So I'm going to play the game fairly normally, but I am going to be looking for the boss room early. Or I guess maybe I'm not. Oh, ignore that.
Did it?
So, yeah, I guess I'm not trying to find the boss room immediately because this is my first time playing the game, right? So, I'm just gonna explore around. And see, this is what I'm talking about, where, like, I can fully prevent them from attacking me.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't feel that bad.
Yeah, the only time the stun feels really arduous is when we're dicking around playtesting and
just
actively
running through,
letting ourselves get swarmed by bees, which
yeah,
you kind of should get punished pretty heavily for just not playing the game. Melee projectile needs to move faster, but yeah, so as a new player, I probably go, okay, these guys aren't a threat, I'm getting currency from them, but I want to explore more. So I guess I'll move on from there. And as a new player, I definitely attack a bee. Not realizing it's a terrible idea. Ooh. And this would be a lot more dangerous of a room because the spider is also going to slow you. Which makes the bees actually able to catch up to you, which is like the reason I put them together so much. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we need iframes for sure.
Yeah.
That was proof. Granted, I could have escaped that by whacking them, but...
If you're on a mission, though, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I forgot something in this last room.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you can whack them and escape like that, but look at how much HP I lost.
Yep.
To do that. Also, when we have local avoidance, that will be largely mitigated.
Yep.
So I guess we should get local avoidance first, and then see how we feel about iframes. So yeah, at this point I think I'm definitely like, okay, fuck this room. And then I go in here, I notice that these bees aren't immediately attacking me. Okay, now I understand. Bees aren't inherently dangerous, and I was a dumbass for aggroing those ones. And then now I see a boss room up here. So I'm gonna go, okay, that looks interesting. That looks like end of the level. I've already lost a lot of resources, so I think I'm just gonna run through these and see what the boss is all about. Boss. Hello? Boss broken? Why boss broken?
Why no boss today?
Okay, well, we're just going to pretend that I beat the boss. And it spawns here. The table that we use for everything. So I'm now gonna go, okay, I want to go back through and actually clear some of these rooms now. And I accidentally hit a bee. I'm gonna be a bit more smart about this.
I surely have weapon swap speed as a stat.
Do you think it's too slow currently? You can animation cancel, so as long as you're holding down click when you swap, it happens immediately. I don't know that you ever want weapon swapping to be slow.
Yep. I think it's a little slow without the animation cancel. Other cool things, like a common thing in League of Legends is like champions that have like 2 sets of abilities, and when you swap between them, it gives you a short buff on like the first ability you use when you swapped.
Okay. Yeah, that could be an interesting
effect. Yeah. When you swap to range, your next projectile explodes. Just thinking about all the VFX we're gonna have to do for like chain lightning and slow and whatnot, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
I like the new resource caches.
Hmm?
Said I like the new resource caches.
Yeah. I think they could be a little bigger. They're not super noticeable now.
Yeah. I also, the default sprite that I chose wasn't the outlined one. So you just don't notice them at all.
Yeah.
So I should just have the ones with the white outline be the default sprite, I think.
Yeah, that's probably good. So now I've got to run back through all of this. This will be more dangerous, though, which will make it more interesting once the enemies are balanced. Right now, you can kind of just avoid them entirely. You guys are still doing your attack animations from too far away.
I was just about to say, the way his attack animation looks is weird.
Yeah, like he shouldn't be able to do it from that distance. And I figured out what was causing that, and I thought I fixed it. Okay, so I came back here for the caches. I now understand that angering bees is very bad when you're still low level, which I think is as it should be. Optional enemies should be kind of tedious to kill without any upgrades. And they should be dangerous.
I think the only thing left that is questionable about the player experience is just the difference between the 5 states of equipped, unlocked, upgraded, and crafted.
Which is why games like Binding of Isaac, once you touch something, you just have it. Because it simplifies it, but then it also makes it a lot easier to kill your own run on accident. Shadows are obviously not perfect.
Yeah, I know.
The scaling is weird, but I figure most of these assets are going to be reworked anyway.
Yeah, we'll handle it then.
So I'll just regenerate them all, honestly. It's probably going to be the easiest way.
Just looks like the bigger objects have a way higher angle than they need. Also, you see how I'm curious. We probably need to balance the beginning projectile speed.
Yeah, for melee, it's just a little slow. It's a little slow for enemies,
like hard
too.
to hit anything.
Yeah. I originally had it move with the player, but that doesn't work on the current way things work. Yeah, so at this point I'd definitely be like, I can come back for these guys when I'm a little more powerful, since they're free. I'm gonna avoid the bees. And first playthrough on like the normal mode, if you die a few times on the first floor, it's not that big of a deal.
No, we want you to feel
how the game works.
The power curve.
Because at this point, you could easily restart your run here if you're not happy with how it went, knowing what you learned from literally your first 10 minutes of gameplay, and have a better experience the second time around. That's not that big of a deal. If you make major mistakes, you're kind of supposed to with a roguelite anyway. But then if they end up killing your run really early...
Well, the cool part is it's not like a big run. It's like a... Like if I am on biome 2 and I die, I respawn on biome 2, don't I? Or do I restart completely?
You respawn on biome 2. Like, on normal mode, you just... It works like it works here, right? You
just go back to the beginning of your floor and keep trying.
Yeah.
So again, I don't think dying is too bad.
Yeah. The only thing is you lose currency, but losing that much currency on the first floor, you haven't really lost that much. I'm already back up to 27. Okay, right. So this is where I would go in here. I would remember that these bees are mad at me, and this is where I'd probably go, okay, I want to go bank my DNA and upgrade some stuff. So let's see. So I go back here. That was about 30 seconds.
Yeah, it may not be that bad. It may be a problem we can solve later.
So this is a little tedious. But, you know, then I get my upgrades. I'm like, okay, now I can kill these guys a little bit faster. I'm going to kill some of these guys. Or maybe I do that on my way in. So okay, here's the solution. Here's the happy medium. There's no teleport. But if you are out of combat currently, like no
out of combat always breaks in every game though.
So enemies have a can see target. If no enemies can see you, your move speed is maxed. And then that way you can run through rooms that you've for sure cleared. I would have max speed over here. This would be really quick. I get into an area where enemies can see me, and I slow back down. And then I'm back in combat. That way you can't skip, like completely avoid danger, but you can rush through the areas where there isn't any danger. Like this room, I would just zoom through. This room I would zoom through because they're not aggroed, which would be another check. I get in here, these ones are aggroed, and now I'm back to normal speed.
At the very least, I say we give it a try.
I think that's the best solution to still keep all of the mechanics that we like.
Yep. I am inclined to agree.
A lot of roguelikes just increase your move speed to stop the tedium of running through areas over and over again. Because that is just kind of an integral part of the experience. There's going to be backtracking in any roguelike or roguelite.
Yeah, and it kind of helps give them things to do in general.
Yeah. And especially in one like this that's trying to emulate anything from Binding of Isaac, there is a very strong strategy. Like, you look at how low my HP is right now. I wouldn't want to do this and then go fight the boss.
Yep.
Spiders should run from you. I just have them never run for debug purposes, but they should run when you get that close so that you're not, like, getting shot point blank.
Yep.
And then once we have slow set up, they'll run at you when you're slowed. Yeah, now bees. These guys I haven't aggroed, so I'm just going to ignore them. I go up here. I really like the dual weapon mechanic as it is right now. I like that you can stun lock them and then run in and finish them off.
Yeah, I like that too.
I think it feels like both weapons are useful and have their place, which is one of the big things we were missing before, so I'm happy to have reached that point. Right, so at this point I'm like, okay, everything that's left is a bee. Bees are scary. I think I'm gonna say fuck this floor. So what I will say from playtesting this way, this backtracking is no worse than Binding of Isaac backtracking. I would like to get it better.
I'd say the levels are just plain bigger. So it is a little worse.
It depends. Like, late, as you progress through Binding of Isaac, the maps get huge.
Got it.
And you're potentially having to walk through, like, 15 rooms to get back to the shop or whatever. And then I'd still say this is slightly better than Binding of Isaac
Because you
backtracking
don't have to backtrack to so many things.
backtracking in Binding of Isaac, there's so many things you have to get to, and you often have to get to them. Like, there's a secret room that's just full of red heart containers. And, like, absolutely full. And you can't carry those with you. You have to go back whenever you take damage. So you are maybe backtracking to that particular room towards the beginning of the map 10 times over the course of clearing that floor. Also, in Binding of Isaac, rooms have environmental hazards, so you're having to really focus on going through every room because you don't remember which ones have spikes necessarily, and you're potentially just going to kill yourself trying to get back. So backtracking in Binding of Isaac is really annoying. This is less so. This is mostly fine.
Yeah, with the move speed buff, it'll be even better too.
Yeah. I think if we just say move speed equals max if we're not in active danger, and then as soon as we run into a room where there are enemies spotting us, we go back to normal move speed, that seems fine. You're always going to sacrifice something, and that just comes with this genre of game, but I think that's the least sacrifice. And then, yeah, starting melee needs to be better, so, like, clearing these guys becomes a little bit easier. They need to have a decent amount of HP, but I don't think they need to be quite as tanky as they are right now. I think we need to make them quick. Like, quicker than the soldier ants, but less health. So that when one of them sees you and runs off to alert everybody, it's like a mad race to kill them before they can get to anyone.
Yep.
But it's actually possible to do. Which I think is currently lacking. Also, they still flash to a bee for a second, which is really funny. The shadows.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's in a good place. I think the solution is we just get rid of the research entirely. We can even have the asset be just like next to the construction chamber. So it's all happening like just visually, so we use it because it is a cool asset. And then banking all of that happens at the end of the level. That way you get your boss reward, you can base the rest of your build off of your boss reward, and you're not able to just spam bank to avoid consequences.
Yeah, that'll kill the whole like point of the game.
Yeah. If you can just bank my DNA like as you're about to die, that doesn't really work. At that point, we might as well just get rid of the mechanic.
Yeah. Which I have thought about, but I think it's cool.
I'm literally getting it directly from one of the Need for Speed games. I'm blanking on which one. Where your heat score multiplies your the points you get.
Mm-hmm.
But it also increases how many cops are on you. And until you go to a hideout, it's all at risk. So you build up enough heat, you're potentially getting, 5 times the points every time you do something. But there's also a chance you won't be able to make it back to your hideout before the cops destroy your vehicle. And it's one of my favorite mechanics in any game. Because it lets you dynamically decide exactly how much you want to be rewarded and exactly how much you want to risk at any given time. This looks like he's having a bit of a bad time. I still think this is really funny. Right. So we'll do animation controller stuff another time, because I don't think either of us have the brain power for it right now.
No, brain hurt.
Yeah. But we made good progress today. We figured a lot of stuff out.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know about the whole 2-week thing. May not be as quick as we hope, but I don't know. Maybe we can make our lives a little easier with, I don't know, cutting down how much we want to do for demo.
Yeah, we'll see. I think this array of effects is good. Because I built it around... I tried to give every single one of these effects at least like a couple synergies, and then at least one effect that it really doesn't pair well with. Just to have a good variety of builds you can do. Plus side, demo is effectively infinite by default, which is not something that can be said for a lot of games.
True.
So that alone will help us out somewhat. But yeah, getting all of these effects working is going to be daunting, but
yeah, I got it though.
I believe in you.
I just wanted to show you a couple of them today, just to show you how fucking crazy it gets with just trying to do something what you would expect to be simple.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, well, anything else you need from me, or do you want to...
I'm down to call it good and just go relax and play Stardew with the wife.
Yep, all right.
Good hanging with you, homie.
Yeah, you too.
All right, night, dude.
Night. Let's fix this. Static sprite sort. Make sure we're showing this. When did I start streaming? I think it was around 10:30. 7:44. All right. So we got about an hour left. Displaying properly. Yep. Cool. I'm gonna do something really stupid. If sprite render does not equal null, do this and return. Otherwise, var tile render equals get component tile map render. Tile mat, no, tile render dot sorting order equals transform dot get sorting order offset. There we go. Back on this. There we go. Let's test this. Seems like it worked. Maybe. It's hard to tell for sure because it only happened on some of them to begin with. Don't mind me, ants. This range is a bit too much. It's fine though. Okay, here's the boss room. Boss room was having an issue, so let's see what's going on there now that we're not getting crowded with null refs. We're having no problem. Okay. So maybe just a one-time thing? Pause is still a little too long, I think. Good. Why is the rotating not working? Well, that's not right. Let's take a look at that. Oh wait, now it is. What? Excuse you? No, it's not. Let's see then. What's going on here? So this is in player pathfinding movement controller. Right. That's fine. Do we never set is controlled to false? Surely we must. Let's see. 12. Where's this done? Okay, so that does it. Oh, that's why. Okay. Right. Did craft upgrade, right. Player interacted, craft, start coroutine, play animation with callback, door closed. And it returns. Dispatching this event. Oh, right, that's the callback. So we do that. Player controlled action finished event does that, which closes the door. Then we dispatch the interacted event. Which gets used by HUD UI? No, upgrade UI. When player interacted. If it's craft, then we toggle this panel. Okay. And then we want to say what? Right, player interacted. Oh, dear God. Okay, I'm still confused why this is breaking. So on can interact. If it's craft, then play the door open animation. And is door open equals true. Where's this getting dispatched from? Okay. Right, where are you getting dispatched? Interaction types, that's on interactable prop, right. Interact. So on trigger enter, we dispatch interaction type. On trigger exit, we dispatch none. How's this working? If the interaction type is craft, if it's not craft and the door is open, then close. What else is dispatching this? Oh, that's just the event. Do we dispatch it anywhere else? No. It's only on trigger enter and exit. Huh. That seems wrong. Why is it breaking then? So let's take another look here. we're just going to... Hello? Unity, please. Okay, I'm gonna move that right there. We're going to go to Game Manager, and we're just going to spawn boss room and start. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Let's just beat this guy's ass real quick. Okay, then we're gonna turn gizmos on. Let's... just like this, please. Okay. So what's happening? I go there. I didn't exit. Oh. Is it because I touched a collider? That's gotta be it. Weird. So that works. But then as soon as I... Huh. It should still be dispatching a craft event. Which is weird. Let's see. Yeah. Dispatching a craft event. Nothing should be exiting. So we only want to close it if it's not a craft event. And these colliders are both connected to us. So yeah, I guess maybe on trigger enter is being called here. Let's test that theory. Gonna go to construction chamber. Or no, I'm gonna go to interactable prop. I'm going to see when each of these are being called. Okay. It's attached. Let's see. So we should get one here. Yep. Sends in interaction type, craft. Ooh, does it twice. Okay. Interesting. Shouldn't matter that it does it twice, though. Okay, so when I touch that collider, because we have a trigger on us. Interesting. Then it does a craft. And then it does an exit. Oh, that is funky. Hate that. Hate everything about that. Okay. Or wait, no. That was correct. Okay, so I'm gonna call the dev portion of my stream here. I've got an hour left. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and then I'll come back and play a game in a few minutes when I have it set up. So anyone lurking, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out. If you're watching the VOD, do all the stuff.